It's Trekland HQ, and we are live. It's anniversary season, Star Trek. Have your views shifted any? Today on episode 337 of Trekland Tuesdays Live with me, Dr. Trek Larry Nemechek, coming at you right here from the heart of Trekland through Portal 47, and yes, Trekland Treks, and all the good things we do here to bring you some, hopefully, sanity, clarity, and the big picture, the bigger picture in all things Star Trek. And here we are. Wow, it's winding down to the end of the year. We are here in December. I am so glad to have all of you with us today as the community pops in here. And look, if you are new to Trekland Tuesdays Live, welcome, welcome. Just know that we have a great community in chat. You want to jump in there, especially here at the beginning. If you're on YouTube or Twitter, you'll see everything, or Twitch, you'll see everything. If you're on Facebook, you're only going to see the Facebook comments only. So please think about going over to the others, especially on YouTube, where you can like and subscribe and help me get my count up. That's what's going on there. And if you are new, make sure and introduce yourself, say where you're from, because at this time of day, we have, as my intention, we have folks from all over the world with us. It's a great time for a little bit of global connection here in Trek World, Trekland. And the deal is, if you're new, please say hi, introduce yourself. And here's the thing. I'm going to get off on a little tangent here. I'm going to have a theme topic, and then we'll take a micro break, and I'll get back and dive into the chat at that point. And yes, I'll even back scroll. Okay. But here it is, mid-December. It's an awesome time. This is a kind of a big day. This is a big day. It's, well, yesterday was the 15th anniversary of losing Majel Barrett. I need to post something about this, but if we're marking our days, that's happened. Today is the last day to order your Trek portal in a box. It's 6 months the price of 5. You can give it as a gift. You can even give it for yourself. You get swag in the box. It's a physical box you can put under the tree if you order today, so I can get it out in time and get it to you by Saturday. Now, the deal is going to go through the end of the year, okay? But if you care about having the gift box for someone under the tree, because virtual is, kind of a letdown, even though it's the gift that keeps giving, it'll last 6 months, it's still fun to have something under the tree. So this is what we've been doing the last few years. Jump in on that. Go to the site. Right now, there's some glitch about using phones, but go to the website of your pad and it should be fine at larrynemechek.com. Today's the last day for physical delivery by Christmas. The deal goes on. You know what else? Today is the last day to vote on the Lappy Awards, the Live Long and Prosper Awards that all of our friends over at, Virtual TrekCon and Environs. If you just find Virtual TrekCon's social somewhere, Twitter, whatever, you can, somebody will probably pop it in the chat here, but it's a Google Doc is the ballot. It'll take you a minute. The awards are over in February. That's coming up. And speaking of things coming up, my goodness, coming up in January is also, it's already there, Trek Talks 3, which benefits Hollywood Food Coalition. I'm probably going to be involved somehow with that. So we'll see what's going on with that. But just to put on your calendar, Trek Talks 3 is the 13th. The Lappies will be announced later in February, but today is the last day to vote on the Lappy Awards, and there's several categories. All right, and a lot of them are like straightforward awards. Some of them are wacky favorite moments. It's always a fun mix with those. But yes, last day to vote for the Lappies. It's the last day to get the physical Portal 47 in a box at home. And if you're really planning ahead today, it's the last week to get your Prodigy binge watch party set up for the 25th. Okay, maybe you're going to wait till the 26th. Maybe it's family on the 25th and then binge watching on the 26th. But we've got to get those numbers up for Prodigy to prove what's going on here. The biggest thing is also getting your friends, getting your other Trek friends that never gave Prodigy a chance. Oh, it's the kids show. It's a lot more than that. all the old Voyager fans, well, the veteran, maybe I should say, the veteran fans, from Voyager, if nothing else. But any fan of any of the series, by the time this gets rolling, you're going to enjoy it. There's Romulan intrigue. There's Borg intrigue at one point. Yeah, it's the first season, all 20 episodes. You can still get your DVDs over here. That's happening. Now, today on the show, I've got my topic, but at the end, I didn't promote this. We have an unboxing today. So, a lot of fun stuff happening. Again, yes. Last day for that. We are in the week counting down, obviously, for Christmas, for everybody who marks Christmas. The Kwanzaa days are coming. Hanukkah's just ended, I think. So it's that time of year. Everybody's hopefully in a festive spirit. Hopefully you and yours are in a festive spirit. The world, a little crazy out there. But let's see if we can both have a little bit of a diversion. And thank you, Dave Gregory. I'm going to jump in and take an eyeball at the chat there. Dave's put the link in for the voting already. So you can copy that and go vote as soon as the show is over today. All right. Because here's what I want to talk about today. It's fun. And I mentioned this a few years ago. But we get to this time of year in Trek world, and all of a sudden you remember. I mean, it's one thing to think about the beginnings of seasons in the fall. It's Star Trek. We love our anniversaries. We love marking everything. For one thing, it kind of keeps us honest. For another thing, it's like, oh my God, it's been 30 years. It's been 20 years. It's been 50. Yeah. We have our anniversaries and we love them. And we think about the beginnings of seasons like in the fall, with a couple of exceptions, right? The mid-year DS9 and Voyager with the mid-year replacement shows in January. And then the finales come in the spring and early summer. But apart from that, the ones that get us are the movie anniversaries. And especially, it's like if you're in holiday season, I mean, starting Thanksgiving, if you're in holiday season, it's anniversary season for Star Trek. It's anniversary movie season. And they come thick and fast. And if you're not paying attention, you can get spun around. I mean, look, the years are piling up too. But going back to even November 18th, Generations turned 29 this year on November 18th. First Contact was 27 years on November 22nd, which again is another, it's a little bit of an Trek movies do a good job of doing an overlay on the tragic days and trying to give them a little uplift, because November 22nd is JFK Assassination Day. And if you're of a certain age, that will always be branded in your brain, even if you were just a toddler when it happened. And then Star Trek 4, November 26th, coming out a week earlier because they couldn't, the previews are so great. The one with the whales was so awesome with preview audiences, and they knew it in their bones that they brought it out a whole week earlier than was intended. Well, how far we've come on that kind of a situation from what happened with the first Star Trek movie, which barely squeaked out and saved the studio all their promised guarantee money on December 7th, again, redeeming another infamous day, literally, a day of infamy. The motion picture was 44 years old this year on December 7th. That was a case where nobody was bringing that one out early. They were squeaking by to make otherwise the studio might have even gone bankrupt with all the advance guarantee money to movie theaters to save that day, because it was the big splash counterattack to Star Wars and Close Encounters. It's amazing that it made the most money of any Star Trek movie because of the pin-up demand, right? Until the JJ movies and inflation just took over and the worldwide grosses and all of that. But no, the motion picture, December 7th, 44 years ago, of course, the oldest of the movies. But then December marches on. December 6th, the day before, actually, anniversary for Star Trek 6. It was 32 years this year. And then December 11th, Insurrection had its silver anniversary this year. Insurrection was 25 years old this year on December 11th. And then 2 days later, Nemesis Nemesis turned 21 years, had its 21st birthday. It's legal. It can drink now. Maybe it wants to, on December 13th. Now, when you look at this, half of the original series films are wintertime blockbusters. Half of them were summer blockbusters. And most of the original series movies were the #1 movie of their weekend and also set a box office record at the time, if you can believe that. Yeah. Even after the Star Wars pictures, they were still setting the opening weekend records up until, we'll figure it out, probably the later TNGs. But it's interesting how the philosophy changes on whether to make this movie a summer blockbuster or keep it as a holiday family movie. So 2, 3, and 5 of the original series are summers. Everything else is winter. Motion picture, 4 and 6. All of the next gen movies are holiday movies. They're all winter release movies, November, December. Just saying. And then all 3 of the Kelvin JJ movies are summer blockbuster movies. Maybe that reads more into the psychology than we're thinking about. Could explain a few things in hindsight. So there you go. That's why we have half the original series. All the TNG movies have their anniversaries. Right. You can celebrate the holidays and you can celebrate anniversary season for Trek movies. And if they're flying by, the dates just string along here. And every day you wake up, somebody's celebrating a new movie somewhere. That's fun. Here's my question. We can talk about the anniversaries and the math and the sentimentality and all of that. Oh, wait. As of now, I forgot the last one. Star Trek Arabic numeral 4 is set for this month, December 22nd. Isn't that amazing? No? Oh, wait. I'm looking at the early headline. Remember this? 2 years ago, the 4th JJ movie was supposed to be this month. How time flies. I mean, we've known for a long time it wasn't going to be. It was crazy to think at the time it was. Nothing else. Chris Pine has been working on a feature up until late fall, and when was he going to have time to film? So yes, we're still waiting on that Star Trek Arabic 4. I mean, I've heard rumors that some people are actually waiting on it, and it's all fine. It's all good. It's all good. So there's a December movie. Well, that would have been the first of the JJs if that held up. That would have been a winter movie. Would have been a holiday season movie premiere. But we have a long way to go on that story. Stay tuned. Watch this space. Who knows? And there seems to be no philosophy about that. I don't know if the summertime blockbuster will be the thing for 4, Arabic 4, when it comes out. I know that Roman numeral 4, actual Roman numeral 4, was a big holiday movie, right? So here's we're talking about all these films. My question today is, as we celebrate the anniversaries and we just, struggle to keep up with all of it and celebrate, have your opinions, has your vision, has your perception, has your gut reaction to any of them changed since they premiered 21, 25, 29, 27, 32, 44 years ago? I know one has, for me, the motion picture, thanks to the 4K director's cut, which is not only edited more tightly, or the original vision, because we got the rush, slam, bam, thank you, ma'am delivery that had to happen, or else Paramount would have lost its shirt in penalty fees to theaters. That's barely the same. I mean, it's the same movie, but all the things we have critiqued, laughed, joked, memed about poor motion picture, the motionless picture, the motion sickness. Yeah, going back to 79, 80. All the things we've said about it for all these years, they're moot. I say this at least once a month. Watch the 4K director's edition. It's color timed. It has ambient sound. The entire Temple V'ger bowl scene at the end literally makes sense now. It flows, it builds, it has drama, the characters have arcs. It's not the big gray blob going by deathly silent anymore. So yeah, my opinion about the motion picture has changed. Now that's constructively. thematically, I'd say sure. That's really more what I'm talking about when I say, has your opinion changed on these? I remember Star Trek 6. I was so PO'd at Star Trek 6 when I saw it as a younger person. I was mad about phasers in the galley. I was mad about the Klingon dictionaries piled up. Like, where did they get these books up? Did they replicate them that fast? We didn't even have replicators. And we had, we'd go have the computer stores make this, is what they would say. There were so many little bits, bobs, and pieces. They're running around the ship looking for the boots of the murderers. Wouldn't they have just, dereclamated them? Wouldn't they have put them in the reclamators and reclaimed the molecules for the... I thought it was crazy. Whoever wore them at the time should have had them instantly dissolved. I mean, would have gotten rid of all traces. I don't know. I just thought there are many ways I just thought Star Trek 6 was clunky in its day. Maybe that's because it was already being up against 4 or 5 years of Next Generation, and a mere weekly TV show was showing up the sophistication that the movie era Treks had gotten to. Maybe that was subliminally in my mind. I don't know. Star Trek 5 is always going to be Star Trek 5. Star Trek 5. The one without the rock monster. The one with... I didn't like the choice of McCoy's. I wanted McCoy's pain to be losing his wife and his family. Fine. It's an interesting scene. Yay, son of David. We now know what David looks like. Okay, fine. People love that scene. Many McCoy fans love that scene. I don't dislike it. I just wish it had been the one huge mystery that we never know, still to this day, know about Prime McCoy, is about the divorce. We don't even know what his actual wife's name was, his ex-wife. It was one of the first Bantam novels before they went to pocketbooks. One of the late 70s novels, Joe Haldeman. See, this is what happens when you're young. You remember these things. Postulated some scenes with McCoy and his wife, and her name was Honey. It was actually Honey, not his pet name. Other than that, we've never had canon McCoy. Okay, so I'm nitpicking 6 to death here. Of course, the big picture splash of it being a Cold War allegory was awesome. And Gorkon's name being Gorbachev and all of that. Sure. I'm just saying, as you look at all of these movies, has your opinion, reaction to them altered over the years? I just stumbled into a thread the other day where people were talking about insurrection and saying, if the greatest slap against insurrection was that it was like a TV episode or a 2-parter, okay, in the day that was considered an insult, a slap, a put down. Is that so bad in hindsight? Is it so bad that we had a movie budget level 2-hour extra episode of Next Generation with the characters at their best? Now, yeah, there's your boobs grow. Couple of things didn't land great, and people are still a little antsy about that whole Picard kiss with Anij, or not. But I think, have I actually seen some DS9 style, Voyager style revisions in thinking? And you got to remember, the further back you go in fandom, you carry around your original memories and your original reactions. And every once in a while, it takes somebody coming up watching something for the first time, much younger than you, to maybe kind of, goad you into going back and taking a second look. Either the surrounding culture or your own culture after 20 years or 30 years, 10 years even. You came into, even if you never saw a Star Trek movie before the Kelvins in theater, and you only knew it the first time you saw it on tape or on cable or on streaming, even if that was your entry point, maybe just 10 or 20 years later, it's worth revisiting. We watch and rewatch all of the seasons so much. The movies are obviously much easier to watch again. So, I'm looking at this. Is Nemesis still this? Is Nemesis still creepy for the mind rapes of Deanna? Is that creepy or is that horrifically dramatic? You know, sometimes things that are meant to make you feel disgusted get mistaken as just disgusting movie acts versus the emotion it was supposed to make you employ. But that's Nemesis and Tom Hardy's initial. Do you see Tom Hardy's later genius coming through it all through here, or is he just drowned in trying to swim through the Trek Technobabble Sea and stand up in that heavy coat, that Matrix coat? Nah. Insurrection, generations, the whole concept that we couldn't just have a next gen movie because the world had to see a handoff from Kirk to Picard. And of course, the Kirk death. Oh my, it was fun. Has that sat better, worse, differently, multifaceted over the years? Especially the longer we've had real life Kirk with us. And at times as problematic as Shatner has been. But still, he will command an audience and he'll command people to come out when he's out live, much less when he's going into space for the first time. But generations, everything, the Duras sisters, Malcolm McDowell's performance. I don't know. First Contact, my God, the First Contact, one of the jewels of the crown here. Has anything diminished First Contact over the years? I don't think so. People can pull up, The Whale, Star Trek 4. I'm just going back through the list here. So no, I've become more tolerant of 6. I look back and realize I was angry young fan. Take a dose of my own medicine here. Texture, not trivia. Okay, mashed potatoes, a phaser on disrupt, dematerialize. We'll get rid of the pan, but not the potatoes inside. Okay, fine. I guess every chamber on the ship needs a phaser rack, including the galley, the hobby galley, right? Oh, the dinner with the Klingon seems a little clunky, but it could have been much clunkier as originally. It was much more a parallel of real life. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is about as close to aching 20th century parallel as it wound up getting. But it did a lot. And I want to say Star Trek 6 did a lot in hindsight for the public's perception of Star Trek. 4 and the whales and the message and the time travel and the easy humor derived, not plastering on the jokes the way I thought 5 was, sometimes the way I thought Insurrection was. The humor was organic in 4. And not that there was that much humor in 6, but I felt a lot of the emotion was organically seeing Star Trek at its best as a parable of our times, the best of the old original series, of any of the series after that. And I thought, what was the best representation of that? 4 and 6. So yeah, I've calmed down on my initial reaction to 6. And now, of course, forget Shinzon and Deanna. What Spock does to Valeris. Everything we've been through, whether it's mind rape or just categorizing it as torture the last 20 years, what we've been through, people see that with different eyes now and shudder a little bit with Spock. So I'm not talking about, I'm really looking at our holiday movies here just as a topic. I mean, you can apply this to all the movies. And of course, I'm not even addressing the Kelvins because they were summer movies here. That's a whole different critter anyway. But yeah, just of our beloved holiday movies that we have been celebrating, and we just watch for the ticker to go around every year. We watch our chronologies, our chronometers to come around every year and tick off another year. Wow. Next year will be 4. So we'll have the 84 and the 94s, right? Oh boy. What do you think? Has your perception of any of these hallowed holiday Trek films, Novembers and Decembers, has it really perceptibly changed over the years? I'm curious. We can talk about it in the chat. That's what I wanted to get to here as we wind down the holiday season. What do you think? Load up the chat and let's talk about it. We'll keep it simple today, or maybe not so simple. We'll see. We'll see. And while you're doing that, again, I just want to say it's the last day to get the physical box. There's Portal in a box. Yes, there's some swag in here. There's the member pin. There's Gene's last gift card to people. What else is in here? Some swag, some Trekland and Portal 47 swag that will fit in a box. But again, the main point here is you can actually give it to somebody on Christmas morning, but only if you let me know today so I can get the mail out tomorrow and get it to you by Saturday in the States, of course. That's the thing. The deal is going to go on. If you don't care about the box under the tree on the 25th, those three parts, if you want to get it for yourself, it's 6 months for the price of 5, plus the extra little swag. That's what's happening there. Thank you again, Dave. You scroll back, everybody, or maybe we'll repeat that. This is the last day for the Lappies as well to vote on the Live Long and Prosper Awards. You can read about them at virtual TrekCon sites, all of that. And what else? Yeah. Remember, Prodigy. I was kidding about the binge watch parties on Christmas Day, unless, of course, that's what you want to do. But at least remember, as things settle down, maybe in the evening, you and maybe some of the little ones in your life, however they arrive there, can sit down and start off with that very Star Wars-y opening to Prodigy, which by the end of the second half hour, you're very much deep in Federation land in Starfleetville, and you're off and running with Hologram Janeway and the kids. And they have far to go through all that. So I don't know. It's an interesting time. What's up with everybody? Hope you're all doing well, though. I'm just going to say as a reminder, the holidays is a time to remember to be thankful. So I'm thankful for everybody who is in the portal. And boom, that's what you find if you go to the site, right? You can also do the full year plan if you want to do that and give that as a gift too. Just saying. And of course, like I say, Santa does not mind if you get presents for yourself too, right? Hey, look, everybody, I do want to thank another year, another month here with our Patreon folk, our TTL Club, Diana Hopkins, Robin Wilson, Lawrence Todd, Anne-Marie Siegel, Justin Porteous, Galindo Bruton, Chris Jiggins, Pranakasha Productions, Comedy Forecast, and Andrew Jazimski, and our live wires, Rob McLean, Byron Bailey, J.R. Poole, Halberd Gunnjonsson, Alan Hohenzi, Dave Gregory, Tobias Rex, Donna Runyon, and Casey Shafsky. That's the 2 levels we have. It's a simple level. People say, why do you keep it that simple? Well, because it's my energy on top of everything else we're doing here. $5, $10 at patreon.com/Trekland Live. Of course, I say if you want to have more of a stake in everything I'm doing here at Trekland with our media channels, the Dr. Trek point of view, and archive mental as well as paper, just go jump and join in the portal. It's only a little bit more a month. You can do that. And hey, as the winter unspools and the weather gets nicer, here in LA especially, don't forget you can give yourself the gift of a Trekland trek. Come out and do your own custom away mission. I'll help you set it up first, of course. We'll pick out all the ways to have it be an incredible, memorable day, unique to you. I'll do whatever you need. Pick you up at your hotel. We'll have the day, 6 hours. We'll have a quick lunch, 4 stops that you've picked out with my help. And then I lead you. I prop wrangle. I help you with cosplay, all the fun stuff. TreklandTreks.com. Think about it for the new year. Maybe it's a New Year's present for yourself. And of course, if it's Tuesday, there's a new Trek Files up here in the middle of season 11. We're welcoming back David Gerald and talking about something controversial. The story of Blood and Fire. Not that you're going to cram the entire saga of his script, unproduced, controversial, which it shouldn't have been, Next Generation 1987 era script, the allegory about, gays and AIDS that was never made until it was published, rewritten, and then made as a Star Trek New Voyages fan film. The saga of Blood and Fire this week on the Trek Files with none other than, of course, David Gerald to talk about it. You can find it wherever podcasts are podcasted. But our page at Facebook is where you can get the documents, and we have the original premise for Blood and Fire, which mentions nothing about gay crewmen or AIDS. Go figure. Anyway, that's Trekland. That's the Trek Files on Facebook or wherever you get your podcasts. So look, if you are leaving us now because you've been watching on YouTube later, thanks for doing so. Leave a comment below, like and subscribe the channel, and maybe sometime join us live. Okay? On a Tuesday, 1-ish or so Pacific, 4-ish or so Eastern. And that means you can join in at 9 UK time and 10 Central Europe, or even the next morning in Australia. And whatever you're doing, please come over and find me. Still on Twitter, still on X, Larry Nemechek. Larry's Trekland on Facebook, on Instagram, and yes, on YouTube. Please like and subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things. And of course, portal47.net. This time of year, think about if you want to join and jump in with all the portales and all of our deep diving behind the scenes like a mini con all year long. That's what you want to do, is maybe check that out in the middle. And oh, I have one more surprise from today. Everybody, look. How about another unboxing? All righty. This is late to arrive. Let's see this. Actually been out on sale for real since December 5th. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's the, well, let's just see. Why should I spoil it? Ah, yes. It's the season 2 DVD, Blu-ray, what have you. It's the physical discs for season 2 of course, Strange New Worlds. What an amazing season. Talk about running the gamut. Boy, they should do more than 10 episodes. Nobody wants to go back to a 26-episode season. But what about 16 or 18 episodes? 10 is a lot to cram in, and even so, they did it. We had courtroom dramas. We had good old planetary explorations. And yeah, we had the crossover animation episode with Lower Decks, right? These old scientists. And then, of course, we finally had, after all the years of talking about it, finally had a musical Star Trek, Subspace Rhapsody. But the thing is, it fits. It's not just a lathered on musical. It's caught up in a sci-fi premise. It's caught up in a wacky dimensional reality anomaly. It's the best anomaly ever. Talked about it on Second Opinion. If you want to go back and look at all the Second Opinions, they're up there each week. But no, the Strange New World. Of course, it's got bonus features. There's of course, it's certified fresh on and of course, TV Guide says this is Star Trek at its best. Now, I was just at parties over the weekend where people were still saying, they're all good, but Lower Decks is my favorite Trek. And yes, one person, Prodigy, is their favorite Trek right now. But there's a few people in the Strange New Worlds camp. It's got features like producing props. Jeff Lombardi, we just had Jeff Lombardi as our Portal 47 guest last month. He spent 2 hours with us. It was amazing. A lot of stories, behind the scenes insights, a lot of his personal pictures. And he's not a big socials poster, so a lot of it hasn't been out there yet. Also a feature called The Costumes Closet, the Gorn featurette, and that's one to get into. Singing in Space, of course, you have to have a feature on Subspace Rhapsody. Exploring New Worlds, what they're doing with the AR wall and everything, including what was done for these old scientists in overlapping animation and live action. And of course, deleted, alternate, extended scenes, and surely the outtakes reel is in here. I would hope so. Anyway, it's out. It's been out since December 5th. There was a delay getting my copy, but we got it. And I just want to make sure that everybody remembered, perfect for gift giving. And the uncertainty of the strikes and the streaming model, and even the talk that we've been following lately about studio futures, makes a lot of people remember what an asset it is to have hard media. And this is the first generation for Strange New Worlds. This is the first generation for all the current series. And if you're really wanting to have them at your fingertips all the time, with no nonsense about who's doing what, where, and when, who owns who, it's a good idea to go ahead and get your copy. Sure, give it as a gift, but get your own too. I mean, see, it's lots of stuff. I mean, the quality is there. The audio, the mixing, all of that is good. It's been out for 2 weeks. Been no bumbles, been no hiccups. So there you go. Strange New Worlds, still branded from CBS Entertainment and Paramount, both. It's Amazon Easy, or probably right now still in your local retailers if you want to get it there too. All right. And once again, thanks. I can't wait to bust this open and get caught up this holiday week. All right. That's how I wanted to close today out, everybody. If you're leaving us right now. If you're not, stick around. We'll be right back after this micro break. And we'll dive into the chat. All righty. So if you're leaving us right now, I would say enjoy your holidays, but please, please, please stay healthy. Do all the things. Stay woke. Check your sources. You don't know what they're saying, and you know what? You don't know who's paying for it. Yeah. And trek well, everybody. All right, let's backslide. No, let's not backslide. Let's back scroll. I never want to backslide. The world is doing enough backsliding as it is. Let's just back scroll. So, good to see everybody once again. You know what? And if you are new folk, then would love to make sure and have you tell Plushy Leonard hi for me. Well, he's right back there. Woo! There we go. He's right there. So, okay, Sherry, consider Plushy McCoy helloed for you. He's Plushy McCoy when he's in uniform. When he gets out of makeup, then he's Plushy Leonard. Oh wait, that would be Plushy Leonard McCoy. I'm sorry, you're on first name basis with McCoy, so that's what you're talking about. Because I don't have a Plushy Spock. That's a one of a kind item that was a one-off sample for a proposed line back when Star Trek blew up way back in 06, 07. And the Federation was trying to see about having a license for toys and products when everything in Star Trek world was in shambles. And a lot of the big legit toy companies wanted nothing to do with anything. You think it's bad now. Just imagine what it looked like when Enterprise was canceled. Yeah. Okay, Christoph, very cute. Very cute. Can I just call you Ford Perfect instead of Ford Prefect? Let's see. Once again, thank you, Dave, for posting the link here for the Lappy Awards. There we go. Mary Harriman, please like, subscribe, and remember there are no refunds on the path to Cal High. Absolutely analysis. R.I.P. Majel. 15 years. Wow. That was a memorial service I was privileged to be for, having been around for a while. Aha. Hello. Ma. Bellione 1. Oh, it's still Sherry. Okay. Oh, no. Plushy Leonard does not forget Dee's. Every year, that's the one thing I've done since I started blogging, is marking Dee's birthday every January 20th. Absolutely. Oh, well, there you go, Rose. January 22nd was the last day of shooting the cage. Was it that late into January? I thought they had the cage shot by... December. All of it in December. Okay. Well, happy birthday early and happy overlapping special days. Yay. Let's see. The 23rd is Doctor Who Day. I thought that was the 20. I thought it was the same day as JFK's assassination. I thought that was November 22nd as well. Well, Christoph, this explains much. If Python is your birthright day, then there you go. Let's see. You know what? Analysis, it's okay. We'll let you stay. Because there'll be some 10-year-old or 15-year-old saying the same thing to you about something from the last few years. Just name it. Mm-hmm. Wow, Sean. Only in the spirit of the holidays will I not ban you on that one. No, I'm kidding. Oh. Yeah. If you're watching the stock prices for Paramount Global, they went up, all this buzz a little bit. Sherry Lansing wants it to get to 40. That's not going to happen. We'll see. Oh. Exactly. All. Insurrection can be 25 years old. Look, kids, Insurrection's premiere was in Vegas, and the party afterwards was the first big thing to be held at the Experience at the Las Vegas Hilton. We went over to the premiere, and then they had us on buses coming back over to the big party room. That's wild. That's wild. Well, this is an angle, Sean, whether it applies to it or not. Yeah. Yeah. Theme park consideration. It's just the whole mix of what people expect to have. You know, it no longer apparently makes sense to have a publisher under your wing where it did 40 years ago, but everything's it's a new world everywhere. By the way, everybody, if you're on YouTube, I am monetized now, and you can do super chat, and all the super chat ka-chings are appreciated, and I will get to those first. I say that 14, 15. Do I see? I didn't think so because I didn't give you a reminder. It helps if I give you a reminder. Oh, hey, Rocky-O. I do see that. And May, thank you. I'm going to say this up front. Thank you, sir. No question, but thank you for the tip, Rocky. And I saw May here. Thank you, my dear. It's great to see you in Vegas wearing your Trekland swag, your Cadet Alice swag. Yeah. An open cardboard box with the word unboxing. I know. In the States, Boxing Day is the day you box up your stuff to go back and return it. Okay. I will do another check here as I catch up. Let me get back to where we were. Yes. Thank you, Christoph. Yeah, it was the joke. There's no jokes about Okies. Yeah. Okay. It's really the 23rd all this time? I thought it was the 22nd because of, okay. Thought it was the night of Kennedy's assassination. Blockbuster season is all around this. Yeah, of course, your opinion, the worst Star Trek movies are the 2-hour pilots. Don't judge them as a movie. That's still, that they'd be like TV movies. But really, Caretaker? I mean, Emissary? Really? Okay. Okay. Oh, hi, Jerry. I'm not having an anniversary, but I think you mean for Trek. So, okay, cool. Ah, there you go. See, you have a skewed view of the world, JR. They weren't really birthday gifts for you, but sure, take them. Take them and run with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Christoph, in another timeline, there was another Trek movie this month. Yeah. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Well, Sean, you might have a long wait if the only Star Trek 4 you want is TNG DS9. Might be a little bit of a wait. And even then, do you really want to turn loose uncontrolled, uncoordinated visual design elements to try to, do you really want to do that and be disappointed if they don't, like if certain production designers whose initials are Dave Blass, if you don't have someone in charge to make sure that Trek's look is treated as future history and not just wacky sci-fi I can show off my skills with. If you want it to fit, then just go to a different era. Don't try to shoehorn it back into being although the bridge was saved, but the bridge is already different. If you're on the E, then it's different. It's a moot point anyway. Let's see. Nobody likes roller coasters. That's fine. Hey, Analysis, your opinion of the Star Trek movies has changed year by year. Next gen movies need a lot more work before release. All of them equally? You're putting First Contact in the same boat as Generations or Nemesis? Okay. Continue. What are you saying, GR? You call it the motion overture? Well, when you get the full intermission and the full overture music on that thing, yeah. Yes. What are you saying? Rockio, you saw the motion picture in a movie theater when screens were huge and the ability to sit in awe was still available. Yes, with that squirmy suburban kids. Star Trek the Motion Picture is the same movie. It's like the Snyder Cut. It is the same movie. I'm just saying that, you know what? I've never watched the Snyder Cut to see the differences. The motion picture is just the movie that Robert Wise wanted to bring out and didn't get the chance to. It's color timed. It's got ambient sound. The visual effects inserts are trimmed and edited for timing. Not we have no time and we spend all that money, put the whole goddamn thing on the air and show it. Yeah. Your opinion, Dave, changed in Flex, but nowadays it's more tempered. I mean, there's lots of episodes of all the series that have greatly changed. Oh, well, see, here you go. You loved the scene with the dictionary. I was cringing. I'm like, not only why are they doing this, but where did they come from? And how did they put a pile of dictionaries at Uhura Station on the bridge within seconds? I was just reeling. To me, it was just a joke. It was like, what did we do to just set up a joke? It didn't feel organic. It was just a visual gag. Oh, look, I'm in my 1991 clothing again. See, this is the kind of memory that we have to preserve. We have to, so everybody who's, I don't care how old you are when you see it for the first time, when you see the motion picture 44 years later for the first time, we need to remind people it's the only Trek movie that to me is also a sociological statement. It's a media, pop culture media event statement. It's the first time a canceled show had been brought back as a real budgeted movie. And I'm not talking about the Batman. I'm not talking about when the Battlestar Galactica, let's put the 3 episodes together. I'm talking about when they shot a TV show and then cobbled it together. They spent more money early on and then did a big thing for theaters and got people in, like it's an AIP cheapo movie or something. No, I'm talking about a big budget real feature. that then hamstrung itself with a timeline. Yeah, I said I didn't have a knock against the story. It was the details. So I was going into you know what. Yeah. Hi, Pat B. I know you've been with us before, but thanks for joining in. And Boa Trek, I always want to say Boat Trek. I know you've been with us before, but maybe a while. Period. Okay, end of sentence. Oh, well, this is the other end of owning media, isn't it, Christoph? Amazon or the post office mechanically damaged your first Babylon 5 remastered box. They sent a replacement. It just might make it for the long weekend here, holidays on the 25th and 26th. There you go. There you go. Yes, William, I wish we had that kind of a time machine as well. You for your devices and me for mine. Of course, then we need the temporal commission to prevent, you know. Answer no about revisiting movies. The 2009 reboot, which of course we weren't technically talking about today, but go for it, Zahir. I'm up for discussion. Was supposed to revitalize interest in Star Trek, but the human exploration fan service ratio has not been great. Find me an original plot since 2009. Wait. You're talking about the Kelvin movies? You're talking about everything. Everything. I'll tell you what. I know an original plot in all of Star Trek. Wej Douche. Your theory analysis, I think I know what you're talking about here, was that he blamed himself and saying, you know, for the pain he didn't believe his father kind of makes sense about how medical professionals are. For his pain scene. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to let it happen. It's canon. I have to deal with it. I'm just saying I remember how disappointed that for the choice of his biggest pain, that's the direction they went in. But oh well. Recency bias. Yes, definitely plays a part in what looks and sounds good with Trek movies during that time, into the late 90s. And the comparison with TNG. By the time JJ's came out, we were a scant few years from Enterprise and new fans. Yes. Well, I'm talking hopefully. And look, as someone who does screenings of Will Rogers movies from the early 30s, when you think about sound movies didn't really gel until to a modern sensibility till 39, and he died in 30. I'm all about having to give people tons of context, and that pales in comparison to, I mean, Star Trek's early movies pale in comparison to talking about the 30s. You know, the essence comes through, but for an audience conditioned, you just look at everything on the surface and not bring their own context to it, including the era it was made. I totally know what you're talking about. I'm totally with you. Oh, okay, Zahir. Sorry, we're gonna leave you then, or you'll leave us. Yeah, I think, well, Enterprise started getting a second look in the later aughts when there was the 5th season campaign, briefly. It's kind of unrealistic. I mean, Enterprise is always going to have the things that bogged it down. The guys, Rick and Brannon, having some pressure from the network and fighting off a lot more of that now that we know now than we did at the time. But for all this talk about just let Pike's crew be Pike's crew, I wanted Archer's crew to be Archer's crew without updating everything so quickly. And you know, by the time 2 years are in, and we're getting phasers, and we're getting photon torpedoes, and we're getting people starting to use the transporter, and I just wanted to hang back in that early explorational time. In fact, their original idea to not launch until the end of the first season and have at least half of the season, if not the whole, all about launching the first Warp 5 and talking about his dad's legacy and all these things, and look at Earth and look at attitudes and find these Trip's never been off world before, and Hoshi hadn't either, and all. they could have explored some of that and set up some of supposed to be what was going to be Dom's or Malcolm Reed's dominant character trait was he was just a kind of a bomb freak and was antisocial. And that went away very quickly when they cast the cast they had. Anyway, yeah, Enterprise still has the flaws that it dealt with. The second season plots get real thin, but then there's also First Flight and there's Carbon Creek. And, it's like third season of TNG. And then the Xindi was the get ratings or die response. And then by the time the show really hits its stride, it's kind of on thin ice, but they're doing great things that last year. Anyway, the great irony. But people are just finding that out, and without the context of network rating competition and being compared and all that, just seeing it on its own. That's why it's a rewatch is always great, and the more years you can put between your original impression back in the day and where you were in your own life, brings it to it. And that's different from everyone, obviously. You're looking forward. Wait, did I miss Threshold, the holiday movie? Did I miss that? They already are. As in, if you take away the last 5 minutes, the rest is a pretty good horror episode. A great Brandon Braga weird shit episode until you hit that ending point. Oh yeah, trying to do the party ship cruise on the Rhine. Is that what it was? This is interesting, Sean. The mind rape in Nemesis, Shinzon and Troy, was part tragedy to you because he's never seen a human woman before and he's looking for a connection. Okay. Human as in not Romulan or human as in not clone? Oh boy. Was the Kirk death better than the version that was originally written in film? Well, originally it was shot in the back. Yeah, and they rewrote that so that didn't happen. Answer supplemental. You're saying that pre-05 Trek has absolutely gotten better and more thought-provoking for you with time. Is that you thinking you've aged into some of the concepts they were after as a here, or maybe you were just a little impatient as a younger viewer, just as you'd be impatient with everything else going on in life? Generations still has not gotten a boost on your list of good movies. Okay, there you go. Don't have an issue with a weapons locker in the galley, but why wasn't it locked? Well, who was it? Was it Chekhov or was it Valeris that opens it? They've got a command code. They just have a chip. They don't have to do anything. If it's only the weapons locker in the galley, they don't have to go through a 5-part, 3-person code, like self-destruct the whole ship. If I was Neelix, I'd be armed, but you can cook better than him. Yeah, well, different era, different ship, different quadrant. Yeah. Oh, thank you for clarifying. Okay, analysis. Well, here you go, Glenn, and glad you could make it today. Maybe you've gotten more tolerant or just better at compartmentalizing. The Kelvin movies are great as standalones, pew-pew fantasy action films, and you enjoy watching them. I just don't see them as good as Star Trek. Yeah. But with that brand on there, they filled up the aughts. They filled up the teens. They were a placeholder for mundane critics and execs and suits and bean counters who don't pay attention, but they just see Star Trek fly by and they go, okay, it's not dead. And then they are placeholders they're not placeholders, they're fans actually come in and get attracted and then go. I mean, they actually were a funnel. Famously, they were the funnel that was superseded by everything else. But yeah, they had their place. What if attacking aliens invade just there? Oh, it's always about the alien invasion. We're all so dramatized. Oh, I see the conspiracy. Yeah, Gorkon was an Azetbur inside job. Ooh, family intrigue. Okay. Okay. Dave, you say you loved Generations when it was first released because that was your crew. Right, right. On hindsight, over the years, plenty of quibbles about how poorly the characters and plot were written, but your first memories of it hold. You just love First Contact that much more. Well, there you go. What? The chat is a rocket. Even without anyone twitching, I barely can follow the chats or Larry. Oh, really? Okay. Well, Rocky O, bring back Cybok. Did you see Strange New? Did you see them having him just intimated there? Here's to 2024 so we can clean our chronometers. There you go. And we all have our opinions. It's one of your favorites, I hear. There you go. Generations is. Ah. Really? Wow, Glenn. Okay, cool. I have to stream. I had to start using Chrome to stream on because at least a year or so ago, Firefox would not take Restream. So there we go, to each his own. Of course, now I have to watch the screeners for Treks are only on working on Chrome. I just don't want to give Google any more power. What now? Completed the first season, all 20? Damn, Hala Janeway's spoilers made me go gulp. At the end of the season, I think you mean. Yeah. Your opinion of the movies has changed several times in your life. Okay. Well, here you go, May. You voted in the Lappies, yay, even though your favorite movie didn't make the finals. Insurrection. There we go. Commenting is easier on Facebook. Is it busier on YouTube today? Really? I see other people's streams, but I've never had the experience of what the chat is like for you all while I'm restreaming, using Restream. Here we go. It's all Chrome's fault. Well, David doesn't mean to be controversial, Linda. It's just kind of the nature of his beast. Winter solstice is Thursday. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hey, Christian, glad you could join us as well. Right? Yeah, Christoph, I that's interesting to hear about the European perception of threads coming in from Facebook Meta. I'm just not excited about it. I have some people here that say go over to Threads. I'm still on. I'm waiting for the great white not Twitter hope to emerge. Don't know. Hi, Dominic. Good to see you. Definitely agree on the motion picture. It's perfect now to fill the role of holiday movie for you. Also, rereading Chekhov's Enterprise, right? Perfect TMP companion book. Thanks again for the Covenant of the Crown recommendation. Oh, good. That was, of all the early books I read over the years, I just remember actually reading, back when I read Trek fiction, reading that and thinking this feels just like an original series episode, and it's McCoy based. So you're welcome. And then years later, I finally met Howie Weinstein and got to say that was my favorite of the pro novels. It's just a simple original series style episode blown up into a novel, into a book length. With the introduction by David. Okay. I'm reading the rest. Also, just rewatched The Day After and showed John Champion your rad appearance. Really? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You know, John has his Wesley Crusher audition tape, and I have my extra in The Day After. And I asked Nick Meyer a question at his students' meetup to compare The Day After with the Wrath of Khan shoot, is my sneaky way of asking Nick Meyer a Star Trek question in 1982. And he was kind of like, it's kind of like, I see you're the Trek fan back there trying to look legit by couching it as a start in Day After, material. Oh, this is the thing. Yeah. The metal box. See, I don't care about the steel books, but it's cool. You got 4 box-sized characters, fridge magnets, and a musical episode poster. What, you hit the poster and it plays? Hi, Anne-Marie. We've been talking about the Lappies. We made sure and get people over to the last day. Yes, yes, yes. Hi, girl. Let's see. I actually need to go watch the 60th anniversary Who specials. I need to go. I think I would understand them. Okay, Aldine. You demand a film in the original series universe combining all our yesterdays, tomorrow is yesterday, and return to tomorrow. I know, I get those mixed up too. The title should be Yesterday is the Middle of Next Week. Oh, from the Federation Inquirer, which is a zine not reprinted by popular demand. Was this one of your zines, and from what decade was it that it hasn't been reprinted from? This is a thing I keep hearing about. Subspace Rhapsody on vinyl. Do you want a red vinyl or a green vinyl? Now what? When people started referring to STTMP as the abbreviation for motion picture back in the day, teenager you read it as stamp, and I was wondering what the heck was so exciting about a stamp that people kept talking about it. Okay. I try not to say STTMP. I just try to say TMP and know that no other of the motion picture actually in a title is going to be big enough to compete with Star Trek that you have any confusion factor going on. That's obviously the Star Trek motion picture. Okay. Okay, everybody loves season 2. Oh my God, I didn't see this, Christoph. Elon has banned Disney Plus from the Tesla. What? Like he's going to program your radio so you can't digitally pick up. I need a plushy Moopsie. Yeah, I got a plastic Moopsie. Did you see my plastic Moopsie? Oh, he's washing out. There we go. I'll give him some definition here. From Starbase Indy. Thanks again. With some teeth to go with it too. Okay. Let's see. I'm a plushie, not a Vulcan. I know. Okay. Oh, thank you for the context there. I'm assuming everybody knows Ford Prefect from Hitchhiker's Guide. Yes. Started in Innsbruck, sort of. Oh, you and your hometown Chamber of Commerce boosterism. Okay. Oh, okay. Rockio, you have the same birthday as Sir Patrick and Harrison Ford. Busy day. Okay. Talking about Doctor Who being idic-ish. I believe the correct term would be idic-esque. You guys, let's whip this English thing into something respectable, okay? Now, Dominic, what are you saying? You recently watched a film called Conduct Unbecoming from 75, and Persis Kambata is in it, and her acting is great. Why is it so wooden and TMP, no remastered version? Well, watch her before she gets made into the V'ger avatar. When she first comes on, she walks in and smiles at Decker, and they have a talk, and it's uncomfortable, but that's all you get to see of her. It's like looking at Jeffrey Hunter's Pike in the first Cage and thinking he's horrible, but he's depressed. And the only time you see maybe Sirius Pike is in that last scene, kind of. Just a reminder. Yep. Just weird, her acting choices in the motion picture. Well, it's that and Robert Wise, you know. Well, it's a double-edged sword, Sean. I'll just say that. Oh, Doctor Who was the next night? All this time I thought it was always branded by being the day. Well, I mean, you were in Dallas, you would have been 6 hours ahead. Main UK time. It's 8 from West Coast. So 6 hours ahead, 5 hours ahead of the East Coast. Oh my gosh. Banjo Man forever. Okay. Well, thank you guys. You've clarified me, everybody. All right. Emissary is the best pilot. What's funny is at the time, everybody thought Caretaker was the pilot that blew everything away. It was easy to blow away Farpoint. But Emissary was pretty strong too. Which apparently is what Christian thinks as well. We have seen with Picard season 3, they can tastefully update TNG. I know. It's not rocket science, or is it? I know. Well, Encounter at Farpoint is suffering from not just being the pilot for TNG, but the first Trek made for TV in how long? The well-oiled machine was already up and rolling for Emissary and for Caretaker and for Broken Bow. Although there were, changes in crew for Broken Bow. Well, true. Visual continuity is much, much better than it was. Some would say it still has fur to go, but why does this even have to be a conversation? The fact that we're talking about it. It's like going to a play and going, wow, the lighting was so great. Well, if you're noticing the lighting by itself, something is not. Well, the pilot for Strange New Worlds was very crammed, and they had to do a lot of pilot stuff. They had to do a lot of exposition and setup, and they only had an hour, not a 2-hour movie. The bit with the planet on the other end was kind of rushed, and throwing all the revamped history timeline was amazing. Was amazingly crammed, I should say. Well, Sean, if nobody else has said this, you need to watch the latest cuts, versions, prints, etc. That's all I'm saying. But I know, oh my God, JR, can you imagine seeing the promenade on DS9? Oh my gosh. No, Christoph, it was a problematic term in the after Steinbeck and Grapes of Wrath. It was a pejorative through the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. And then, of all things, a Republican governor tried to bring Okie back as a term of endearment, and it eventually stuck. But there was a time when if I was just blithely if I would say, well, I'm just a dumb Okie as a self whatever, you would have Ulster's, gasp. Don't say that. It would be like using any other pejorative for anybody else blithely. It's like I'm amazed that so many pejoratives for, say, gender issues get used now. Queer used to be something that people spit out, and the fact they've gone back and re-embraced that. is still amazing to me, and still a little uncomfortable. And I'm not even gay or on the queer spectrum. Um, Makes me uncomfortable just because when I was a kid, it was a hate term. Um, this is what I mean. They brought color to the drab uniforms. It's kind of amazing. You don't even think about it till you see it. I told David Fine the last premiere, uh, I felt like I was seeing the V'ger Temple Bowl scene for the first time. I felt like I had never seen that scene before. That's how amazingly different it was from all the things. From all the things. Hey, Don, you made it today. Yay, yay. Okay. This might be the way a lot of people have them ranked. Beyond first, and then 09, and then Stid. This will be interesting. This will be a whole new dynamic. Netflix is going to release their numbers. See, part of this is pushed by the revolution of what the terms and the strikes were to set up a whole reporting infrastructure. You have to do bookkeeping just the same way that they've done since the reruns were book kept. And that now nobody thinks about it. There's a whole industry about reporting and keeping up with all those numbers of where things sell and where they show and all that. And syndication is crazy because you've got that's market by market by market. And that's insane. But which is what TNG and DS9 had to put up with on the business side. But yes, Netflix is going to show numbers finally, and we'll see. Will Parrot Analytics and Digital Nielsen's have nothing to do? No business? Yes, you're mentioning it, Don, but yes. Maestro, Bradley Cooper, Leonard Bernstein. Yeah. Der Alta, if there are people like you who looked at Tuvix and Threshold and liked them, or if they're reevaluated after time. Yeah, they come in. The original series is where a lot of this has really happened, and even some next gen. I don't know. I'll let the TTLers answer that. Talking about Prodigy, trying to get your nephew to watch it. Every viewer counts. Absolutely, JR. Okay. Sorry, guys. I am. Everybody having a good time? Yay. Generations is at the bottom of your TNG movie list. Well, there you go. Interesting. Oh, Der Alta, a question from your row. You watched The Sting for the first time. Bada Bing, Bada Bang was Trek's Ocean's 11. Did we have a Sting version? A scam? A scam? A con? If there was, it would have been DS9. I don't think TNG ever had the fortitude to go there. A big con job? I don't know. Maybe somebody else would have an opinion on that. I'm going to say no. I'm even thinking of Enterprise. DVDs on your hard disk. Yeah. Smart idea. Now, what now? So much catching up to do. Got into Strange New Worlds, then backtracked into Lower Decks. Haven't seen Discovery or Enterprise. Well, okay, we'll try not to spoil too much then. Let's see. There you go. Prodigy is your number one current show. Well, you had the one time for sure, the episode gone not inhibitions. What was it called? The folks with the holy clothes, the clothes with holes in them, and the guy who was yeah. Excuse me. Well, just saying, Duralta. Just saying, they were bound in by the limits of what they had. It was kind of like a mini motion picture situation with the clock ticking. And here's your limits. That's what you're waiting for, Glenn. Okay, you just keep right on waiting. Well, yeah, this is kind of the grand consensus of everybody the minute that movie came out. There was a whole protest movement. There was a whole, today it would have been a hashtag, but back then it was the whole bringbackkirk.com movement. Yeah, and that's why Shatner wrote his own continuation. Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of things. The continuity, the loop of logic in that. And what's with the nexus? What do you do? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't forget that Rick first thought was coming out of the Zindi year with the alien Nazis that should run like 6 episodes. Be a 6-episode arc before you come back to. And Manny was like, no, we have enough to do. We have all these ideas to make this the show people thought it was going to be. Can we at least have Tellarites and Andorians talking about allying? Yeah. Well, hi, Jim. And there you go. Generations or Insurrection are your favorite TNG movies. There we go. You don't think any other movie besides Wrath of Khan is something you would show newcomers? Wow. Okay. Hi, Thirst Contact. This is what I mean. Why pile on? We're already stuck with. I had my original account on YouTube before Google owned it. So there we go. Am I supposed to go and use Vimeo? Like, that's going to be the mass appeal. So yeah, when I can choose, and even there, I'm being forced. Okay. Other than Kirk's death, where he wasn't alone, and the lack of more TOS era stars, which they tried to do, but they backed out because it was going to be an obligatory little dinky scene, which I understand why they didn't want to, especially Leonard and Dee. Didn't mind Generations at all. Aside from those things, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the movie? And Nemesis on the bottom. Okay. Well, yeah, but I answered this already. Okay. just for one scene analysis, one scene as an extra, but I'm like right in camera. It's fun. I've talked about it on podcasts before and shown it. Somebody might even pop it in here. You forgot that. Got the episode tomorrow. Well, he's talking original series. I get those confused. I have to stop and think. Return to tomorrow. Tomorrow is yesterday. All are yesterdays. Yeah, the post. I met the artist of that poster at San Diego Comic-Con. He had me walking by. He said, "That's my poster." I was like, "Oh." Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that clarifying. Emissary went too heavy on the prophet scene, messes up the pacing. See, to me, that's what broke it out of being just another Star Trek episode. That whole linear time thing and dealing with the prophets kind of blowing people's brains up in 1993. Well, you're preaching to the choir, Glenn. You're preaching to the choir. At least it wasn't as insane as the original Enterprise bridge that the Discovery people built. They did shrink it and yeah. Oh, you said that. That's what you said. Yes, absolutely. It was an improvement over Discovery's Enterprise bridge. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Oki from Muskogee went a long way to help that. And that was about the same time, 68, 69, 70, as Governor Bartlett and his Oki pins. Let's see. I didn't mean to start a whole fracas here. Apparently, it was the 23rd. That's totally cool. Went from me thinking it was a typo to seeing 5 people say it was the 23rd. So there we go. All good. All good. All the rooms on Pike's Enterprise are as big as the AR wall circle. Yeah. Duralta. It's been a long week. It's been a big week. I've got stuff I have to post and stuff. We have shopping. We have cooking. We have things to do. Z12. You mean I think this is Counterpoint, which came out of nowhere? She just had chemistry with him on camera. Yeah, kind of a double whammy. Who's conning who? Yeah. Okay, you two. 1, 2, boom, boom. A little bit of the sting signal there or something, but yeah, still waiting. Yeah. Kirk's death. Yeah, but they were still stuck with this. They still had to do it on the mountain. They only had like a week or two to shoot. They couldn't build anything new. They had to go back and finish up with that mountain. They had to figure out another way to do it with what they had already built because they were cramming this in. Again, they had a guaranteed premiere date, right, of November 18th, and they had to get it done then. And this was pre-CGI days, remember. Sydney, hello. Glad you could make it. Well, Jim, you love the concept of the Nexus. What does the instruction manual look like? uh, uh, Merry Christmas back at you, Don Don, and of course to everybody here watching. This was it. It was their get out of jail card. It was their quickie. If they thought the prequel early era thing blew up, then they could jump out of it, which was stupid. Go and commit to it and do it. Some of us have been screaming for that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm always seeing people say that they loved Faith of the Heart. Yeah, Sean, if you read your chapter on generations in the Next Generation Companion, it explains all of this and the machinations. Yes, indeed. Of course. Walter's always trying to be legit. And yes. Well, some people of a certain age say okie dokie. Yeah. This is a relief. Thank you, Christoph. Uh-huh. Because Ron and Brannon sitting down wanted to have some huge, big emotional stakes. And they thought one of the things they could do to make the movie huge and big and emotional and not just a Star Trek movie, but to expand the lid is to do something really bold and daring and dramatic and tragic. And they thought killing Kirk would fulfill that. And they sat down to talk to him about it. And he went along with it in 1993. He went along with it and didn't push back. You would think if he was going to push back, he would have done it there. Like, you can't kill me off. So this whole idea of, we're still in the idea of having more than one Star Trek. Like, what does the shape of a franchise look like? They'd had a series. Now they're going to have new movies with other people besides the original cast. And there was, that vibe was part of it. Yeah. So there you go. Nice plug for the companion. I might make pennies on that. So there you go. I'm just saying it's there. There we go. Thank you, May. Good to see you and have a good holiday. Good to see everybody. All the good wishes and well wishes here. And my goodness, Rocky O, thank you once again there. Today was made up for the last 3 months or something. Not you, I mean everybody, but thank you again. I don't promote it enough. I should do that. It is the end of the chat as we know it. They've pulled Lindbergh from the beginning of the credits. I'll have to go back and see. That's interesting. That's interesting analysis. I didn't know that. Interesting. Well, guys, gals, peeps, that's going to do it for us, I think, today. Remember, we'll be talking about this a little bit later, but the Strange New World Season 2 has been out for 2 weeks now. So let's do that. And today is the last, if you're coming in late, today's the last day you can order in the States to get your Portal 47 in a box by Christmas Day, if that's important. The deal will go on 6 months for 5 with the swag inside. That happens. That's going on. But if you want to have delivery by Saturday, get to me today, pay for it, order it now. The link is there on the home page, okay? And it's the last day to go vote for the Lappy Awards. Make sure you go over and do that too. The awards will be out in February sometime. Mark your calendars in January for the 13th. Saturday the 13th, that's the next Trek Talks 3, which benefits Hollywood Food Coalition. John Billingsley, the Trek geeks, Roddenberry folks, the gang of thousands will be putting that on a day-long telethon on the 13th. The Lappies are in February, but today's the last day to vote for them. The Live Long and Prosper Awards, a lot of fun categories to vote in. And here in Trekland, last day to get your boxed Portal in a Box gift for gift giving in person to get it by Christmas Day, although the deal keeps going on. And of course, I have reopened the Trekland trunk. I meant to say, if any of you are collectors, people have been snapping up DS9 blueprints and light plots every couple of days. It's kind of amazing. But if you do not know this, it's been 5-6 years since I had the trunk open. Go over to Facebook. I should have said this up front. Facebook, Trekland Trunk on Facebook, and the updates will be there. Or you can look at Trekland Trunk on eBay. That's me. And if you're a Buffy person, the Buffy Once More with Feelings special UPN promotional screener tape, which I've held on to for ages and ages, I finally put that out there. So a little crossing the streams even. Otherwise, it's all Trek stuff. Trekland Trunk on Facebook and especially on eBay. That's that. This is our last time before Christmas Day for those of you who celebrate. I'll be on Tuesday, the day after. I'll be here for Boxing Day. We will see what's happening as the year draws down and we get into January. Some fun things coming up. I'll just say with that, thank you for being here. Look forward to you next Tuesday. And the Trek Files. The Trek Files is out, of course, obviously, with David Gerald and the saga of Blood and Fire. Yes. Do I need to show you I could show you the things. Sure, I could show the things. It's the end of the year and I feel fine. No, and I do need to thank, you know what? I do need to thank our Patreons one more time. Thank you guys and gals for being here and supporting on the Patreon side of things. If you're interested in helping do that as we expand Trekland Media, then there it is. Simple $5 and $10. You can give more, but that's all I'm set up for. I need to get the $10 folks their access to the early Portal 47 interviews. I was talking about Trek Files. David Gerald talking about Blood and Fire, the controversial, unproduced episode from first season Next Generation. Right in the middle of the AIDS allegory and gay characters. Very obscure, off to the side, no big deal gay characters, but it was still too much. Don't forget, anytime you're headed to LA, get a hold of me ahead of time. We'll work out a Trekland Treks for you, your own customized away day, your own away mission to 4 sites, and a lunch that I will help you navigate the whole day. And yes, it's Portal 47 special. 5 months, 6 months for the price of 5 in the box. Perfect for tree gift giving, although the deal will keep going. And here we go, all the socials, please like and subscribe if you haven't here on YouTube. All right, portal47.net. It's the time to join. We'll have specials going from now through New Year's. And follow me, of course, everywhere else you can. All right, everybody, that will do us. And that will be my cue to say, as you go out and about, be safe on your holiday travels and take care of yourself. No matter what's going on, there are spikes in flu season and COVID in RSV, not RSV. You know what I'm saying? So please just take care of yourself. Do all the things. Stay healthy. And most of all, stay woke. Check the sources. All kinds of stuff's going to be flying through the airwaves out there. Just, Trek well, everybody.